The tutoring center works with many different students at different places in the writing process. Some students are unfamiliar with accessing the information they need, or with communicating their confusion to professors. In this video, we will discuss how tutors can model behavior for students who are unfamiliar with a certain citation style, who feel the assignment is too difficult and need clarification, and who don't have the research they need or the ability to access it. First, let's watch this interaction between a student and a tutor who are both unfamiliar with a citation style that the student needs.
Hi, I'm Jolie. What can I help you with today?
Hi, I'm Jenna, and I have this biology paper due really soon. I have to cite my sources in APA, but I don't know how to use APA.
Okay, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I also don't know how to use APA, but there are a ton of great online resources that we can use. So I'm going to suggest my favorite one, which is the Purdue OWL. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, how about you go ahead and pull up the Purdue OWL then?
Okay.
And we can look up how to do the APA citations and figure it out together.
Okay, great.
The tutor now begins explaining to the student how to access the website and how to use it for their paper. It is important that the tutors do not do the work for the student, but that the student does it for themselves under the tutor's guidance. This will make sure that the student learns on their own and can have this skill for when they need it again, rather than having someone do it for them. In another scenario, a student might walk into the designated tutoring area feeling unprepared for their paper and that they don't understand the assignment. In this scenario, the tutor can model how to find help.
Hi, I'm Jolie. How can I help you today?
Hi, I have this film analysis paper that's due in a few days. I just don't know what to do for it.
It sounds like you're pretty nervous about the paper. What can I do to help?
I just don't really understand the assignment. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, okay. Do you have a copy of the assignment?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, so can we read this through together and talk about, what the assignment is asking, see if we can make it make sense? How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Now, the tutor can read the assignment guidelines out loud or ask the student to read it out loud. The tutor and student can work through the guidelines piece by piece, with the tutor asking the student to explain what she thinks each portion is asking. Sometimes, breaking the assignment up into manageable chunks is enough for it to make sense. Other times, though, the student is still unsure. In that case, the best thing is to encourage the student to talk to the professor.
Okay, so it seems like these guidelines are still a little confusing. Maybe you could email the professor or stop by their office hours for clarification. How does that sound?
Yeah, I think I'll email them. It's still a little confusing.
Okay, do you want a hand with that? Maybe I could help you with the wording?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, let's work on that now.
Then the student begins writing an email with the tutor providing feedback on places that might sound unclear or unprofessional. Sometimes, a student might be confused with an assignment because they do not have the research done that they need in order to write their paper. Our tutor and student demonstrate the steps to take in this situation.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Jolie. What can I help you with today?
So I'm writing a research paper on the positive and negative consequences of GMOs, but I'm just not really sure where to start.
Okay, so you mentioned that it is a research paper. Have you done any or all of your research?
No, that's what I'm confused about.
Okay, so did the professor give you articles that you have to use, or do you find your own?
I have to find them on my own, but I just don't know where.
Mm-hmm. And did the professor tell you if you could use, only books, or if you could access online articles?
You can use online articles.
Okay, so our school has a really great online database. I'm going to suggest that we pull that up, and it's full of scholarly articles and journals and just all sorts of things, and that's usually a pretty good place to start. You can look through papers in a specific academic discipline, or you could search using keywords, and I can guide you through navigating the database, but I'll let you do the work of going into the database and searching for your sources. How does that sound?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Under the tutor's guidance, the student accesses the database and searches for articles that they can use for their paper. During this session, the student does not need to find all of their sources. In fact, it is very unlikely that they will. Instead, the student will leave the tutoring session with the knowledge and ability to access the database on their own, so they can return to it whenever they need to. By modeling behavior, the tutor in all three situations paves the way for the student to build the skills necessary for both this assignment and for many other assignments and classes in the future.